Forget about all that stuff going on in Orlando and Washington, D.C. The heck with Washington, D.C. I got some New York news. All right, New York news is Governor Andrew Cuomo, son of Mario Cuomo, former governor, deceased now, of New York, is in a heap of trouble up here in New York. First, a couple of weeks ago, it was alleged, a story broke, and I believe the way the story broke was that one of his aides, some woman, leaked the fact that Andrew Cuomo, was not reporting all of the COVID-19 deaths that happen in nursing homes, right? See, it works like this. So people get sick of COVID-19 in the nursing homes in the state of New York, and a lot of them. And if they get really, really sick, they get transferred out of the nursing home because they don't have intubating systems and they don't have ICU units in nursing homes, so they get transferred to hospitals, right? So somehow or another, what Cuomo did, he reported the number of people that died in the nursing homes. But for whatever reason, the requirements were that if the people were once residents of a nursing home and they got COVID-19 and they were transferred to a New York hospital, New York State hospital, and they died in the hospital, that death was supposed to have been registered as a nursing home death rather than a hospital death, right? Making the nursing homes look like they got less deaths and the hospital. And I don't understand the logic of why it should be that way. But anyway, Cuomo did not report those deaths that happened as a result of transference from the nursing home to the hospitals. He only reported the ones that died in the nursing homes. You know, they didn't go to the hospital. And somehow that was wrong. And he got in big trouble about that. But nobody knew about this. Nobody was looking for it. Cy Vance was looking for it. Letitia James, the Attorney General for the state of New York. Nobody was asking about it. Even Trump wasn't asking about it. But this woman leaked it on. So when I first heard, I said, wait a minute now. This woman, you know, she's one of his women. She's one of his aides. So what's up with that? Why she do that to him? Why she do that? Caught everybody by surprise. So then Cuomo tried to clear it all up. Then a week later, some woman named Boylan or something she came up and said that Cuomo said something to her that was out of order sexually. I forget what it was now. You know, she said that he said that something about sex and this and that and the other, and I don't know what it was he said to this woman. And she said it was sexual harassment, right? And Cuomo came back and said, oh, well, it wasn't, and then he denied it and everything. Then this past weekend, New York Times reported a story, another woman, 25-year-old woman, said that Cuomo said something about, do you ever have sex with older men? And do you believe in a monogamous relationship with men? And so the 25-year-old girl said she got upset by that. She felt very uncomfortable. And so now she's reporting that what Cuomo said to her was an insult and an assault, harassment. So Cuomo's got this woman who leaked all this information about the nursing home deaths. Now he's got two other women said something to them that was out of order. I don't know what he said, that, they was asking something about something. I don't know. Anyway, they're after the boy up here now. People are calling for his impeachment. A lot of people calling for resign. A number of people taking away some of his gubernatorial powers that he has and all that. And then yesterday, he wrote a letter, said that he ain't done none of that stuff they're saying against him and all that kind of stuff. You know how that goes. And then he comes out and says he apologized if he said anything. He said, I apologize if sometimes we're working late, long hours. Sometimes I make jokes and one thing after the other. And if everybody felt uncomfortable about a joke or a statement that I made. The thing I was interested in, he asked this 25-year-old, did you ever have sex with an older man? Andrew is pretty, how old is he? How is he? Older man? What do you mean older man? What do you mean by that? Was he talking about somebody else or was he talking about himself? I don't know. I guess he called himself an older man to this woman, right? And, but at any rate, then yesterday, I think an article showed up where he said, well, I apologize if I said something that offended somebody, right? And, this is a very sensitive area here, because you say something that normally you would be able to say if you say anything in defense of Cuomo, People going to call you a sexist and a hater. But, I was watching the movie. This is absolutely true. I was watching it. You see this all the time, right? And there was these two guys that were trying to get into some building, right? And the police or something were sitting in a car, but they had this woman who was working with them, right? So they couldn't do what they wanted to do in this movie because the police were sitting right there at the building. So the woman that was with us said, "I'll take care of this." So she jacked the skirt up. She rolled her skirt up like the Catholic girls do, roll the skirt up till they get it way up to the, and then she opened up her blouse and they were down real low. And then she went over and began to talk to the police officer. They stopped watching the building. They stopped watching her. And while they were watching her, the thieves went in the building. And I mean, this is the typical activity of men, right? I mean, do that. Men, if you roll up your skirt and you open up your blouse, and I said, Elizabeth and I, we always watch this. I'd say something to Elizabeth, don't talk too much because Elizabeth might think I'm watching the wrong thing. But a lot of these women on television, right, these news anchors, they come on and they got these V-neck sweaters on and these V-neck blouses and everything, and they're married and got four. So one came back, she just had a child, just had a baby, right? 2 months ago, she's back on the network, and this thing is way down here, and everything over here is been bulging out and everything. So where your husband at? What do you got to say about all that? And they, and then one had a skirt way up around her legs and everything. I'm thinking, my God. And these supposed to be news anchors, right? But I'm trying to follow the news because I got a report. I got to know the news, right? I got to know what to say. I got to follow the news because I'm the Manning Report guy. But I keep watching that other stuff. So Elizabeth turned the television up. No, I'm just kidding. No, but what I'm saying is this, is that can you register sexual assault against a woman who opens up her blouse too far while you're trying to think about writing an insurance policy for yourself? Huh? Can you consider it sexual assault if a woman jacks her skirt too high? Now, I know this is going to get a whole lot of women angry with me, but I think that Cuomo has been set up. Something's up. Here's why I think he's been set up. Number one is that that woman that leaked that information about the nursing home death didn't have to do that. That was confidential information that only he had, and nobody was even asking about. Nobody even cared. Why did she do that to him? Why did she leak that against him? What's up? She did it purposely to destroy him? And then here come these other women who are now saying that that he did this to him. That he said that, this, that, and the other. And then the thing that really, I've been watching the story develop, the thing that really caught me was when the New York Times, so it's supposed to be a liberal newspaper, the New York Times, right? They're supposed to be in favor of liberality, except when it comes to certain kinds of liberality, liberal ideas. They dropped it as a front page story on Andrew Cuomo, governor of the state of New York. Yeah, this guy's, is about as liberal as anything you've ever seen liberal, right? The New York Times is going after him as a bombshell story against Governor Cuomo. So he's apologizing, to saying that if he offended anybody, that he's sorry that he did it. I don't know if that's true either. I think he might be sorry that now they're talking about it. I don't think he's sorry that he did it. And I guess you'll have to try to discover the intent of one of which he did. It seems to be like an entrapment. It seems to me that now he's calling for an investigation. So he said they're going to have this woman, Tish James. Well, I don't trust no further. I can throw a pink elephant because she wants to be governor of the state of New York as well. Going to have Tish James, who is the attorney general for the state of New York, hire a private law firm that will do the investigation, to actually ask questions, get subpoenas, have people testify. What did Cuomo say? Does anybody else have anything to say? And then et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And it's probably not going to come out too good for Cuomo. Probably not going to come out too good for him. This Tish James woman, she's out to Trump too. At any rate, I think that the real story behind this story is not sexual assault. Now, by the way, I know that a lot of women, let me just say this, clear my name here. I know a lot of women have been sexually assaulted by a bunch of goons, men that are absolutely thugs. Every time you turn around, they're reaching at you, grabbing for you, talking to you, whistling at you, bothering you. You can't work, and even if you are dressed appropriate, these thugs, these goons, these men, these dogs don't care. I know that. I understand that, and I'm for you. I'm with you on this one. But the pendulum swings the other way as well, and I think that there needs to be some concern here. I'm not for Cuomo. I'm not trying to promote him. That ain't what I'm trying to promote at all. I don't know what he's done. He's up to something. Somebody, listen, the governor before promo, this guy named Basil Patterson's son, right? This governor, he's governor of the state of New York. He's blind. He's legally blind. Y'all remember him, Basil Patterson, Governor Patterson? This guy was having sex with his aides at these cheap hotels around New York City. I swear, that's the absolute truth. Governor Patterson he appointed Christian Gillibrand to be senator of the state of New York. But Governor Patterson, Basil's boy, he's half blind. I think he's legally blind, right? Yeah, put him up there, Messenger. This fella, nobody accused him of anything. His wife accused him. I better get out of this story before I get into deeper trouble. I did not mean to present this story as a supporter of Cuomo, but I'm curious. I'm reporting it because I think there's a much deeper story. Somehow or another, the New York liberals are against Andrew Cuomo, and they're now using these stories to try to unseat him and get somebody else as governor. Maybe they want me to be governor. Might be a good idea. This is a bit of a news blog we do, looking at spiritual wickedness in high places for the most part, making some observations about it and giving people a biblical foundation to the way of interpreting, rather than have Sean Hannity or Laura Ingraham or Janine Pirro or Anderson Cooper or Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon, Rush Limbaugh interpret what's going on in the world. You come to me and I'll tell you based on what the Word of God says. They'll just give you their worldly, sinful view. But the Manning Report will tell you what God has said, whether to say yea or nay, whether to go or to stay. You'll be led by the word of Almighty God. Come to the Manning Report on a daily basis to interpret the spiritual wickedness in high places, because there's plenty of it that's going on. And so I'm the Lord's servant, James David Righteous Rebel Manning, and I'm here to serve you with news and information.